How's it going? My name is Daniel Parenti, and we're here again with the Professional Musician Workshop. Thank you for joining us. I have in the studio today Mr. Darryl Anders, a very fine local Bay Area bass player and entrepreneur, and I'm so excited to have him here with us. We're going to be talking about with Darryl what it means to him to be a professional musician, and also some other things that Darryl has been doing in his career that I find very unique and sometimes something that musicians don't often think about. And we're going to get into that. But first, I wanted to ask Darryl, how did you get started in music?
I grew up in a house with a lot of music. My parents always played music. My dad was a choir director and a band director. So there's a lot of music in the house. And when I was really young, a friend of my mom's left an acoustic guitar at our house, and it was under my bed for years. And one day I just picked it up and just started kind of playing around with it, and was picking out the bass lines from songs, because that was the only part I could kind of get. And then my dad brought home a record by Quincy Jones called Mellow Madness, and it featured Louis and George Johnson on it, and that sound just kind of messed me up. So once I heard Louis Johnson, I knew I wanted to be a bass player. When I was maybe in my mid-20s, I was going to the NAMM show just because it was the cool thing to do. And through just a series of networking and meeting people, eventually I got a job working for Eden, the bass amp company. And it was fun because it was music related. I have a weird skill set that, I know about gear, and I was learning about tone, and just being around guys like Mike Tobias and Stuart Spector, and, Bill Bartolini, people who were legends in the business when I first started playing, and, getting to be friends with those guys. I mean, really, Mike Tobias in particular, I tell everybody I would never have been in this business if it wasn't for him.
All right, Darryl, so what do you do for Dunlop?
Basically, I do artist relations and product development and customer service. So basically anything that's bass related for Dunlop, IBXR, Crybaby is my responsibility.
You're the guy.
Yeah.
Right on. And so I know you guys have strings. And you do stomp boxes like these right here. Some awesome stuff too. I use a lot of it myself, and I really have fun doing it. Some great tones. Let's say for our bass players out there, what do you think is a good way to kind of get started in this world?
With pedals, it really depends on what type of music you're playing and the sound that you're trying to achieve. I think of pedals as colors on a palette. So you've got your bass tone, which is kind of your sound, that's your voice. And then you can add different colors to enhance that sonic picture. So if you're playing rock music and you want something that's more aggressive, you want to cut through, then you might want to try an overdrive or a fuzz or something that's going to give you a grittier tone and going to help you stand out with a wall of guitars. If you're playing in a funk or an R&B band, you might want some envelope or an octave to give you kind of a more synth bass kind of a tone, or something that's funky, like a Bootsy Collins kind of sound.
That way we can keep up with the keyboard players.
Right, exactly. a lot of this stuff was designed for that reason, and I think the most important thing that we've done with Bass Innovations that sets us apart from other pedal companies is that, first of all, our bass products are designed from the ground up specifically for bass. So it's not retooled guitar pedals with just the bass sticker on top of it.
Sure.
We're always mindful of the fact that the primary role of the bass player is the fundamental. We support the song. So if you step on a pedal and the bottom drops out, you just got fired.
Exactly.
That's rule one. So almost all of the pedals have designed into them the ability to have a dry and your wet or your affected signal separate, so you can balance the amount of each, so you never lose the ability to have as much or as little of that dry signal in there. Compressor is something I'm really proud of. It's basically like an 1176, which is a standard studio compressor in a phase 90 size box.
Right.
So you got your attack, release, separate compression ratios, your input and your output, and a meter, which is really the most special thing about this, because with compression, by the time you hear it, it's probably too much.
So, Darryl, you must get this question all the time, and it's something I've always kind of wondered, is what's the best way to go about getting an endorsement with a company?
It's an interesting question. I think the best way to get an endorsement is to go out and play a lot of different stuff, find the stuff that works for you, buy it, play it, live with it.
I'm talking about gear specifically.
I'm talking about gear specific, because really an endorsement is a relationship. It's not just a company giving you free gear because you have a gig. It just doesn't really work that way. We want to have relationships with people, and we want to see guys that are going out and promoting the product. But in real life situations, if a guy's on tour with a major artist and he's making videos or making social media posts saying, hey, this is what I do, these are the tools that help me to achieve my sound, because really that's what we do. We create tools for people to make music, and hopefully those tools will inspire other people as well.
I think also one thing that you mentioned early on that is important is that you placed yourself in the scene where the gear is happening, and you were there, and you were meeting people, and you were networking and establishing relationships, like you said, and that specifically at the NAMM show and other trade shows like that. If there are.
Networking is a huge part of what I do. I think that's one of the things that I brought to the table at Dunlop. Though I was new at Dunlop, I had years of experience working with other companies and relationships with artists, so I brought all that stuff with me. So if you have a network of people and a great understanding of gear and some business savvy, I think those are probably the main things.
Tell me a little bit about your own band.
The band's called Agape Soul, and it's made up of myself, Zoe Ellis, Ashton Cole, Aaron Green, Cam Parriage, and we've been working on this record for about 2 years. It's our second record. It's mostly original songs, some of which I wrote. There's quite a few things that we wrote together on this record. And it's what I like to call grown-up soul music.
Okay.
It's about life.
Those are some amazing musicians in that lineup.
It's a lot of fun, and not only that, this record, we've been blessed to have some friends come and join us. I've got the Snarky Puppy Horn section on a few tunes, Eric Gales, Paul Jackson Jr., Levi Caesar, Ivan Neville, Errol Cooney, Lynette Williams on keys, Eamon Flynn.
Nice.
And everybody's just bringing amazing stuff to the table, so it's fun to have an idea, and like I said, you start adding these colors and all these different flavors and spices to the mix, and by the time it's done, it's like, wow. Well,
Darryl, it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking some time and hanging out with here. I'm Daniel Parenti again. This is the Professional Musician. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.